Remind you, keep it secure. Keep it secure. When you need to keep certain conversations secure? When you're on duty, do you hear an alarm go off? Whenever certain documents should be kept locked up? And when you're on duty, does a mysterious flashing light warn you when to keep certain people from getting into certain places? That was when you were on duty. But now that you're off duty, it's important that you continue to keep aware of a need for security.
Hey, did either of you hear the captain talking about...
Keep it secure. Good OPSEC. Keep it secure. To help assure the success of your mission, use common sense and heed those same warnings when you're off duty, too.
What were you going to say about the captain?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Some people go to great lengths to be defensive drivers. They want to make sure they're as safe as possible out there on the road. That's good. But it's even better to know that driving defensively has a lot more to do with using your head than with technology. Sure, it's smart to protect yourself, but real protection comes from inside the car. It begins with the driver's ability to use good judgment, like making sure there's ample space between you and other cars. Watch 6 to 10 car lengths ahead so you can anticipate traffic patterns. And check your rearview mirror frequently. You won't need to go to extremes if you're simply aware of what's happening around you. You don't have to be combat ready. You just need to use common sense.
Eli Whitney's invention of the cotton gin revolutionized agriculture, but it was so simple to copy, competitors put him out of business. So he had a better idea, and it also changed America. Eli Whitney's new machines made exact copies of each part of a gun, allowing unskilled workers to work an assembly line. Henry Ford later used the concept to build cars and to revolutionize industrial development in America.
Known as nutritional blindness occurs due to a lack of vitamin A in their diet. One child goes blind every minute. For many, it's too late, but for thousands, there's still time to get them the megadose of vitamin A they desperately need. Helen Keller International is able to provide these little boys and girls with the sight-saving vitamin A for less than $1 per child. For more information, write Helen Keller International. It's an approved international service agency.
If only people would look at each other in a different way, without seeing the faces, or the races, or the part of the world we come from. Because all of us really are pretty much alike. We all wear the uniform, and each one of us deserves an equal opportunity to do our best. In fact, if you give everyone an equal chance, they'll probably give you the shirt off their back.
This game is authorized under rights granted by the National Football League solely for the entertainment of our military audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the description and accounts of the game without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited. Any commercial or other use of the program is similarly prohibited.
Everybody knows how hectic life can get during a PCS move, especially on packing day. If you put something down for a minute, you might not see it again for weeks. So for items you want to hand carry, things like your passport, orders, and other important papers, medication and personal items you'll need while traveling, jewelry and other small valuables, it's essential that you keep them from being packed by mistake. If you can, lock them in a closet. If your closet doesn't lock, don't use it unless you have a foolproof way of keeping everyone out. A simple sign on the door may not be enough, especially for those packers who don't read English. Another alternative is to lock them in your car or ask a friend to keep them for the day. But however you choose to do it, be sure to secure the things you don't want packed before the packers arrive. There's no reason to make your PCS move any harder on you than it has to be.
Seriously depressed people find it hard to see they still have choices. This hopelessness can lead to suicidal feelings. But friends and family can help, both by expressing care and concern and by seeking professional help when it's needed.
This newspaper is read and respected the world over. Thousands turn to it daily for articles by writers such as William F. Buckley, Jr., Mike Royko, George Will, writers who have been honored with journalism's highest awards. People turn to this newspaper to be informed and entertained. They seek the advice of Ann Landers or Dear Abby and the wit of Irma Bombeck. Is this newspaper the New York Times or the Washington Post? The Chicago Tribune or the LA Times? No. This newspaper is Stars and Stripes, published especially for you. Subscribe to Stars and Stripes. It's your newspaper.
Terry, where's the potato salad?
It's right here in the basket, dear. And Jennifer's got the cookies for dessert.
Oh, boy. Well, we'll put these right on top so we can get to them first, huh?
Jenny, hurry up or we're going to be late.
From community picnics to adult education, community recreation is a year-round thing. So give your recreation office a call and get involved anytime.
It's something that perhaps 200 million Americans face every morning, usually with dread. The alarm clock. Today's models wake us as gently as possible, play music to us, and even give us just 5 more minutes. And the person we have to praise or blame for this useful waker-upper is Seth Thomas. He patented the traditional backwind 24-hour alarm clock on October 24th, 1876, and went on to form a company to make and sell millions of them to time-conscious Americans who always gotta get up in the morning. Americans today are still using alarm clocks of all shapes and varieties every working morning. Because, like it or not, they've got to get up and get going. But it all began in 1876 with Seth Thomas's new gadget. It was a great moment in the unique tradition of America.
When you're far from home, you attract and meet lots of people who like you because of who you are and what you do. But you also want to avoid attracting terrorists and others who try to exploit Americans. So learn as much of the language as possible. Wear conservative civilian clothing when away from your duty station. And look as local as you can. You'll not only be a more effective American ambassador, you'll also be a less likely target for terrorism.
Anytime you try something that's never been done, you take a gamble. Sometimes the odds are in your favor. Sometimes you find yourself going for the long shot. That was Captain Charles E. Yeager's situation in 1947, when he was told that flying faster than the speed of sound was against nature. So what makes a man climb into the cockpit of an aircraft and, despite all the warnings from skeptics, attempt the impossible? And what makes him climb to 42,000 feet and keep pushing? The challenge at hand? Confidence? Or is it simply dedication to do? Each one of us comes face to face with our own challenges at one time or another. And each one of us must act on our own faith, in our own way. For Captain Yeager, the challenge was met head-on with a sonic boom.
When was the last time you enjoyed an MWR program? Ever thought about who funds these programs? Well, in most cases you do when you pay user fees. When you buy from the exchange or other resale operations, a percentage of their profits goes to your MWR programs. Funding that helps make your fun affordable.
Hi, you guys. Come on in.
Come on in. How you doing?
Real good.
Yeah, all right.
Tim, it's been a while.
Yes, you look good.
Thanks, so do you.
You guys did a really nice job here.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Where'd you get that rug?
Oh, we picked that up in Greece.
That's nice.
Thanks.
And it's brass.
That's from Korea.
This is from the Netherlands, right? Right. You sure have a global place here. You must have been everywhere.
Well, we've been around.
You represent your country best when you take an active interest in the people and culture of your host country.
And we've made a lot of new friends in a lot of places.
And here's something I think you're going to enjoy. We learned how to make it in Italy.
In that case, grazie.
Learn about the local culture and make a good impression of yourself and America.
Okay, gentlemen, today we're deploying our jets to Kendall Air Force Base for Combat Archer. We'll be making single ship takeoffs.
This is Air Force technology at work. The United States Air Force is a technology leader, offering qualified young men and women opportunities for excellent training and education. Your Air Force recruiter has all the facts. See him today. You could find yourself learning a skill that will last you a lifetime. Aim high, Air Force.
I've been a plumber for 20 years, but I've cared about conserving water for a lot longer than that. Morning, Jimmy! Your folks are expecting me. Here you go, buckaroo. Fact is, folks call me Dutch. After the Dutch boy who stuck his finger in the dike, I just tell him I saved more water than he did, and not just by fixing pipes, either. Morning, Bill! Dutch. Oh, this is one way to save water. Turn it off unless you're rinsing your razor. Ah, you're looking good. And showers should be brief, and not started at all until you're complete. Oh, boy. Well, let's check out the kitchen. Come on, Jimmy. There are lots of ways to save water in a house. A new washer would save quite a few gallons right there.
Dad said you're supposed to check the faucet outside.
Why, thank you, Jimmy. Bring the tools. Good habits. That's important. Like watering lawns, only when they really need it. Like I always tell folks, if you don't save water, you never know when it's going to dry up.
A lot of times, the simplest ideas are the biggest ideas. The ideas that change the way we do things. You can change things too, through the Military Suggestion Program. Whether it's an item of equipment or a procedure in doing things, if you have an idea for improvement, then put your idea to work. There's a lot of satisfaction, as well as the possibility of cash awards. For more information, contact your Suggestion Program representative today.
The final vote was postponed, and Republican leaders worked feverishly with the president's help.
Not unless the government rules them illegal.
Every day, AFRTS keeps you in touch with the news back home through the eyes of all the major stateside broadcasting networks.
The best prospects always are with the earliest detection.
A few moments ago, they sent in a person who has no collarbone, hoping that he will be able to slither through those small holes.
You're in on all the comings and goings back home.
A Michigan woman who lost her 3 children now has 6,000 to care for. A city festival in Buena Park, California.
AFRTS takes you to the heart of the matter.
Those who talk to the First Lady say that aside from worrying about how her husband will manage...
Strictly speaking, there is a way out.
AFRTS, your daily ticket home.
You know what happens when you constantly change the thermostat setting? What happens is the heating and air conditioning system has to work extra hard just to keep up with all the frequent ups and downs. Avoid constantly changing thermostat settings. You'll save energy and thermostats.
(1729), and French settlers are worried. English colonists are pushing their way across the Alleghenies. So Chaussegros de Lery is sent by the French to fortify the Ohio River. In the Carolinas, English colonists are having their share of problems. Settlers want protection from the Indians. The Crown's answer is royal control. Not exactly what the colonists want. News travels north, where Benjamin Franklin publishes the Philadelphia Gazette. A powerful news source, it becomes the leading newspaper from New York City to Charleston in 1729.
I bet you're gonna do real good in college.
I can never get the money for college.
You could get a job.
Maybe. Be a lot easier if I just had experience.
In the Air Force, we'll give you experience in one of 200 specialized career fields, and we'll help you pay for college. So take the first step to your future. Call your Air Force recruiter.
I'm gonna go play some ball. What are you gonna do?
I think I'm gonna go make a phone call.
I hear tell you got your PCS orders, Pilgrim. Yep. If you'll take a little friendly advice, you'll contact your transportation office now. Check the weight restrictions and your shipping options.
Don't worry about me, Sheriff. When it's time to move, I'm the fastest.
Well, seeing as how you're so fast, Pilgrim, you got time to hear a story about a guy like you. Folks said he was the fastest ever. And one move, well, let's just say before it was over, that PCS cost him more cash than you'll ever see in a paycheck. Because, I mean, he waited too long before contacting his transportation office and wound up shipping some items at his own expense. It's your move, Pilgrim. You packing it in or calling me out?
I'm calling my transportation office.
Avoid costly mistakes in your next PCS move. Call your transportation office as soon as your orders arrive.
Since 1941, whenever our American servicemen were homesick, lonely, or just plain scared, the USO was there. Today, nearly 5 million military personnel and their families live in surroundings that are often unfamiliar, sometimes unfriendly. The USO is still there, letting them know that wherever they're serving in this country or overseas, they're not forgotten. The USA still needs the USO, and the USO needs you.
Storing materials on stairs instead of in closets and cabinets can lead to strange consequences.
Hello, Sonny. Can I help you?
I've never heard of a stair store before.
Oh, well, this is the latest in convenience storage systems. Why, we've got a stair for almost everything. We got your stair for tools. We got your stairs for toys and we've got stairs for shoes and stairs for lamps and...
Oh, be careful. Isn't this dangerous?
Look, Sonny, stair storage is only for your true risk taker.
Remember, safety starts at home.
Instead of being a drink pusher when you host parties for friends, start pushing high-protein and low-salt snack foods when your guests arrive. And start pushing non-intoxicating beverages long before it's time for them to drive home. Because unless you stop pushing more drinks on your friends,
You are going to push their luck too far. Learn what's in, what's out, where to go, what to do, who to see, how to eat, how to cope, how to stop, how to start. All that and more from AFRTS.
Rich, dies disgraced. These are the words of Andrew Carnegie, a Scottish immigrant who became one of America's richest business tycoons. When United States Steel bought his steelmaking properties, his personal share of the purchase price guaranteed him an income of $1 million a month. Another tycoon, Meyer Guggenheim, started out as a peddler in Philadelphia until he bought into smelting. And 2 years after his death, his personal fortune was estimated at over $200 million. What makes these two tycoons...
We're back. Well, it's Monday night.
Disgraced. These are the words of Andrew Carnegie, a Scottish immigrant who became one of America's richest business tycoons. When United States Steel bought his steelmaking properties, his personal share of the purchase price guaranteed him an income of $1 million a month. Another tycoon, Meyer Guggenheim, started out as a peddler in Philadelphia until he bought into smelting. And 2 years after his death, his personal fortune was estimated at over $200 million. What makes these two tycoons special is what they did with their fortunes. Carnegie spent the last 18 years of his life building libraries, over 2,000 of them. Guggenheim's estate created a foundation for aviation research, free dental clinics, and the famous Guggenheim Museum in New York.
If you want to be cool, then hear what I say. You gotta go to school every school day.
Cause if you want a good job, there's a very simple rule. You gotta get an education, gotta go to school.
You gotta get it all together if you want to make it pay. You gotta stay in school till graduation day. So be cool, stay in school. Be cool, stay in school.
If you want to be cool, stay in school.
While you take a break to explore the country where you're stationed, make sure you don't suffer a bad break back where you live. While you take advantage of the road, make sure nobody takes advantage of your absence. And with so much to gain through travel, don't pay for the trip with big losses at home. So before you leave, make sure doors are locked, windows are locked, timers are set to turn lights and radio on and off. Your telephone bell is turned down. Newspapers, if home delivered, are canceled. A trusted neighbor will go inside frequently to give your home a lived-in look. And make sure you don't leave an extra key under the mat. Make sure nothing happens at home to spoil the pleasant memories of what happens when you are away.
working abstract shapes into finished forms. I like the control. It's an art that has taught me something about controlling my own future. I shape things the way I want them. I use education to make changes in my life. I take advantage of all kinds of college degree programs available to service members. These programs offer flexibility and independence. Furthering my education helps me to work my life into a finished form, one that I can be proud of. My future looks brighter, and I really feel better about myself.
Foreign substances are being introduced into your body on a daily basis. Over time, they can hurt your health. In the wrong amounts, they can increase your risk of heart disease. But you do have choices, and one is to change the way you eat. To learn how a low-fat, low-cholesterol diet can help you, contact the American Heart Association. Your life is in your hands.
There's a sign up on my door, gone fishing. I ain't working anymore. There's a hole out in the sun where I left the row half done. I say hoeing ain't no fun. I ain't got no ambition, gone fishing by a shady, wadey pool, gone fishing.
The back of your hand, how well do you know it? A 3/4-inch patch of skin there contains 4 oil glands, 6 cold sensors, 9 feet of blood vessels, 36 heat sensors, 75 pressure sensors, 300 sweat glands, 600 pain sensors, and 9,000 nerve endings.
Your skin, wear it in good health.
We're going to prove once and for all that excessive speeds waste fuel. 2 identical government vehicles using the same amount and same type of fuel are about to take a run down this track. The only difference is one will be driven at a high speed, the other at a moderate speed. Let's see what happens. It's a proven fact. You can make a contribution to motor fuel conservation by driving moderately.
Who says it's a lot of work to mark your property? With operation identification and this handy little marking pen, you can't afford not to protect your valuables. I got this one through my local security officer. But any kind of engraving tool will do.
Hey, no matter where you're stationed, don't give a thief an even break. Let him see you're protected. It's no sweat.
Intruders often do more than damage or steal property. So making your home secure should be one of your high priorities. But extreme defenses like these are unnecessary. Check your door locks and keep them locked. Make sure your keys aren't identified if they fall into the wrong hands. Remove that key under your doormat. Peephole in your door, use it. Keep windows locked Most burglars don't want to make noise by breaking glass. And trim away concealment where peepers and other intruders might hide. They'll also avoid places that are well lighted at night. No matter where you're assigned, just remember that good home security can be as effective as barbed wire without spoiling your view.
It's bill paying time. And when you overload the budget with a number of monthly payments, the burden of bill paying begins to weigh you down. The bottom line is, you don't have to suffer from that sinking feeling that comes when it's time to pay the bills. Before you make another credit purchase, think about how much more you'll be adding on to the monthly payments you're already shelling out. Keep the total amount well within a level your budget can handle. Before you know it, you'll be back on top of your finances.
Mission overview, we're taking off out of March. We'll be refueling on air refueling track 307 east-west. There'll be multiple rendezvous. We have 3 separate CTs refueling a total of 12 F-16s. Each F-16 will take on 6,000 pounds of fuel.
Air refueling altitude will be flight level 200. Air refueling frequencies 235.1 and 344.
That wind from the west is 12 knots. An altimeter of 29 or 84. The temperature when you arrive will be 82.
Today's technology leader, the United States Air Force, offers opportunity, education, and training. Training that can count toward college credit through the Community College of the Air Force. Your Air Force recruiter has all the facts. See him today. Find out how you can become part of the Air Force team. Aim high. Air Force.
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant.
It is a very simple mistake. Simple indeed.
While the French and British still disagree on how to say lieutenant, they do agree that the word describes a person who holds the place of another. We adopted the rank from the British and the pronunciation from the French. Today, the rank of lieutenant remains a colorful part of our American military heritage.
It is simply a matter of pronunciation.
Children in developing nations, poverty, illness, death. These tragedies can rob a child of home, security, and hope as they try to survive the exploitation of the streets. Holt International Children's Services reaches out to homeless children throughout Asia and Latin America with medical treatment, shelter, loving care. Most important, Holt finds a way for those homeless children to be placed with permanent, loving families. Holt International believes every child deserves a home of his own. For more information, write to Holt International.
You know, all the awards on this wall mean a lot to me. I've earned them, and I'm proud of them. But this one's really special. My 5-year anniversary as a non-smoker. Quitting smoking is one of the hardest things I'd ever done, and one of the best. I learned that I could make a decision to change something in my life and accomplish it. If you want to take charge of your life, start by kicking the habit. Do it now, and you'll be surprised what else you can do later.
Say hello to the early bird, the guy who's always up and at 'em, who prepares early for his physical fitness test. Well, almost always. You see, sometimes even the early birds need a little push now and then. Waiting until the last minute to get ready for your physical fitness test, you run the risk of overexertion or injury. In other words, you can blow the whole thing. So make that next test easy on yourself and anybody else who's pulling for you. Don't hang around until the last minute. Get a jump on it now with a regular program of fitness and good nutrition and feel a lot better later on.
If I am captured, I will continue to resist by all means available. I will make every effort to escape and aid others to escape. I will accept neither parole nor special favors from the enemy. Words of conviction, of determination. Article 3. The Code of Conduct.
Phew. Man, what a workout. I'm sweating buckets.
Yeah, tell me about it.
You know, living together in close quarters can be a positive thing when you show a little consideration for the other person. Sharing quarters means sharing responsibilities. Teamwork here is important, just as it is when you're on duty. And when one member of the team drops the ball, well, it's not a pretty story.
Hey, Rogers, do you mind?
Hey, I'm sorry, man. I don't know what came over me.
Consideration, one of the characteristics of civilized living.
Hey, what do you expect? I'm supposed to eat like this. After all, I'm a pig. But humans, that's another story. Pigging out can be hazardous to one's health. It isn't smart to go hog wild over salt, sugar, and saturated fats. Eat sensible and get plenty of exercise. Get out and toss around the old pigskin. Did I say that?
Hey, where did everybody go? Another year is gone. Need a new direction, but nothing turns you on. What to do is a question you can't answer overnight. You need some time to sort it out. We're talking about your life. Aim high, the Air Force, the first step to your future. Aim high, the Air Force, when time is on your side. With experience and training and a job just right for you, you'll have skills and a future you'll look forward to. Yeah, aim high, the Air Force, for your country and for you. Aim high.
You got a young body and a strong heart. Got life ahead. I wanted you to know how I feel.
Be smart. Don't start to drink.
That's why I said, be smart. Don't start. Drinking hurts. You wanna be smart. Don't start. Be smart. Don't start.
Near Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. And despite a wind of 22 to 27 miles per hour, Wilbur and Orville Wright were determined to meld man and machine with the thrill of powered flight. Their new machine, the Flyer, with its 12-horsepower engine and 40-foot wingspan, was aimed directly into the wind on a 60-foot track. Then, with a toss of a coin...
Well, Wilbur, it looks like it's up to you. Wish me luck. Good luck.
That day, the brothers made a total of 4 flights, the best being one of 853 feet airborne for 59 seconds, with Wilbur as pilot. They got the new era of flight off the ground, and it stayed there. It was a great moment and the unique tradition of America.
I'm Ray Don Chong with American Treasury. Today when we drink a toast to someone, we continue a tradition started during the days of Shakespeare. How it all began after this.
There's something for everyone at your youth center.
In 16th century England, spiced toasted bread was added to drinks to improve the flavor. Drinks with the toast in them were used to salute honored individuals. The person to whom a health was drunk was called the toast. Eventually, the term came to be applied to the drink of honor itself. The original meaning is still in use. For example, a popular person today might be referred to as the toast of the town. It's a fact in the Library of Congress. Learn more about word origins in your library.
When you're new to the community, there's one place where you can always find answers, directions, and new friends. That place is your Family Support and Service Center, or your Army Community Services.
I don't think I've seen you here before. No, this is our first time. Oh, my name is Bonnie, and this is my son, Justin.
That's important to know when you and your family arrive at a new duty location. It takes a while to find out where everything is, to understand the local customs, to begin to feel at home. The FSC and ACS provide that understanding and feeling of familiarity. They also provide referral services, counseling, relocation services, employment assistance, and family life enrichment programs. And workshops like these provide the opportunity to learn and grow, to meet people, and to make new friends. A one-stop support system in place to serve you.
I'm ready for my physical fitness test. Are you?
When you're on duty, does a little voice remind you, keep it secure, keep it secure? When you need to keep certain conversations secure? When you're on duty, do you hear an alarm go off? Whenever certain documents should be kept locked up? And when you're on duty, does a mysterious flashing light warn you when to keep certain people from getting into certain places?